What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast, episode 47. My name is Omar. Next to me is Earl. Below me is Max. And how was everybody's week?
It's pretty great.
Yeah, it felt like an extra long week for some reason. I don't know why, but it just did.
It's because there's no basketball. There's no WNBA. There's no NBA. We've had like 2 U.S. Olympic games. It's sad.
I've actually been having a good time. I've been having a good time watching like Olympics. Like, have y'all just turned on Olympics and watched like table tennis or something like that?
Table tennis is crazy. I did see the
crazy sport.
Doubles. I saw gold medal doubles of table tennis. Yeah. That is quite literally insane. I think those people are the most impressive humans on earth, and quite frankly, they should be ruling the world.
Right.
Yeah, bro.
I actually did have a bit of fun. I think it was one night where I like blasted the group chat when Bilal Muhammad won the belt.
Is that
the UFC 304? Yeah, it's
the Olympics though.
No, it's not.
He tried to be relatable with outside content. No,
okay.
I tried to relate because I did have a little bit of fun because that guy deserves the belt more than anybody. I'm just gonna say it.
I will say if you guys haven't been watching gymnastics, like men's and women's, you're missing out, bro. It's been some really, really cool stuff. And they are going again live today. So that should be fun to see if they can win gold.
That's all. Handball is lit.
Handball is crazy, bro. Have you seen them play that?
Soccer had a baby.
Yes, bro. I just see one dribble, just yeets like 15 feet in the air. Chuck it in the goal, and I just see them going back and forth. It's crazy.
I saw some handball.
Have y'all seen the 3v3 matchups?
I did watch I watched USA Serbia. It's not 3-on-3, Omar. It's 3x3. You got to get it right. It's really fun. The announcers refuse to say 3-on-3. There's got to be some copyright there. They always say it's 3x3.
Like,
are you
that's how it's
all I know is
3x3.
That's so
I don't know what the rules are with this 3x3 and who we can put out there, but what we put out there.
So bad.
Let's just say 4 years. Let's get it right. We got 4 years to fix our mistakes.
Listen, I think
we throw in Cooper flag and we'll be fine.
Exactly.
They'll all be retired by then, right? So like the NBA owners won't care. They're not going to be on the regular Team USA. Let's just throw the 3 of them out there. Just have fun.
No disrespect to Jimmer for that, but like we can't like that team we sent out there. It was disrespectful to the 3x3 format. Respectfully. Just say
respectful for the NBA.
Yeah, but I don't think we can't do gold anymore. We definitely won't be able to get gold or silver. I'm just saying, like, with that team, of course not.
I mean,
it's a new thing. The NBA doesn't care. I mean, if we want to send some NBA players, that'd be cool. We'd probably win, but like,
send some. I see somebody say, just send some G League guys. Get it done.
That would be fun. Yeah. Ooh, that could be fun. Like some G League MVPs. Get them out there. Where's Andre Ingram? I feel like he'd cook in that league.
Yeah, right.
Maybe he can be the coach.
Ooh, do you know any
updates on Andre Ingram?
Last time I heard, he was like in the higher management of the G League, so he's in the higher ups now. So that's good to hear.
Okay, at least that.
They need to make like the G League logo Andre Ingram. Can they do that? Is it
honestly?
Actually, what's the G League logo?
The most decorated G League player of all time.
Yeah.
Are you
Where's
serious?
the statue? They need a statue built of him outside like the YMCA where they were playing their games.
Andre Ingram's search is going up by 6,000% after this episode. Who's this Andre Ingram?
You don't know the story of Andre Ingram. Look it up. Cool guy.
Go check it out.
That's interesting because you actually can't tell. Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna actually look it up.
I don't know how much of a public figure he is anymore.
Basketball logo.
He's talking about the logo.
Is it?
Oh yeah. Do they even have a logo? Like straight up?
It's like
just the logo. Only OGs remember the D League.
I remember the D League, and it got
weird. I'm
so much
G League now, but that was so weird like 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was. I was like, bro, why are we calling it the G League? It's the D League, and then now it's the D. Like, if they change it to like the Z League, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'm not going through any more name changes.
That's why
we call it the NBA Development League, right? But
like sponsored by Gatorade. That's why they call it the G League. It says it's sponsored by Gatorade.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is sponsored by Gatorade. Literally, there's a Gatorade logo inside of the NBA G League like logo. It's fun.
Oh, okay. So it's like NBA G League sponsored by Gatorade. Okay, all right.
It's the Gatorade League.
Oh, silhouette. Okay.
I think we're so deep into the lore. We've gone too deep for our own good.
Apparently it's nobody. And apparently it's just... Well, obviously it's just a guy
one time where you can use
right?
that little screen share thing.
Yeah, I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do that now, actually. Good idea.
One time where it's useful because we don't have to read some tiny Twitter font.
Yeah, for real. No, that's about right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think I've tuned into a G League game in years. Okay, so it's just some generic guy.
Yeah, it seems.
No, that's definitely Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin, get your copyrights.
Wait, hold on. This guy asked, "Who is it supposed to be?"
If he wasn't bald, then yeah, it kind of.
This guy Ron, he's asking the right questions. Yeah, who is this?
Ron is asking the right questions.
Who is the logo? Like,
honestly, it's so generic. Like, I can name like 5 NBA players who don't like that. They did a good
this
job.
This looks like DeJounte Murray, but it's
Siakam won a Finals MVP in that or something, or like a league MVP.
And what 3v3?
Oh no, I'm G League.
Oh, sorry, I was on that 3.
Yeah,
my fault. 3x3. My bad.
Yeah, specifically 3x, which I think is really funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been going on. What else? What else is cool out there in the Olympics?
I mean, Joel Embiid catching a DMP was pretty funny.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
He got the
honestly
the Kerr DNP. Did y'all see? He's already announcing the starting lineup for the next game.
Yeah, he's sick of y'all.
Yeah, it's.
But the truth is, I think Kerr's doing a good job with the lineups. It's more situational based. Like he knew versus like, I guess we can just jump into last game. I mean, breaking down that game. If we want to start there, but like Steve Kerr, I know he's getting a lot of hate. Obviously, it's not ideal to have Jason Tatum sit out a whole game, nor is it Joel Embiid. But when you have like this type of flexibility with the roster, I think it's okay to like play around with different lineups that you feel like it works. At the end of the day, both games we won, both games we kind of dominate towards the end. So I can't really fault him too much. Well, versus that South Sudan team, you needed like size and really a defensive presence, and you get that with Anthony Davis starting center lineup. No offense, and Braun. I think Curry was in there. Tatum as well. You need like kind of wings and length to guard those guys that shoot a lot of perimeter threes. So I think it made sense to make those adjustments. I think he said it best. Like when one other person gets minutes, someone else is gonna suffer. Like that's just the cause and effect for this type of team. Like somebody is going to get their minutes reduced. And as much, I got to give my shout out to Derek White. As much as I was like, oh, how is he on this team? Derek White played amazing on both ends of the floor. Great on the catch and shoot throughout the day.
Behind Bam.
100%.
I think him and Bam were the two best players on the court. And I'll be the first to say it. Two guys where I was like, don't know how they snuck their way onto this team. Maybe Bam, I understand a little bit more because of center depth, but like I think we all like 2 weeks ago clowned the Derek White signing, but like good Lord, that guy legitimately played to the point where in the fourth quarter when South Sudan cut the lead to like 11 or 12 with 6 minutes to go, I was like, we need to get Steph Curry out and put Derek White in. Like words I never thought I would be saying, but legitimately Derek White played. He got drilled in the back with like a borderline dirty back pick. And then just came down and just kept hooping. So that was really cool.
I think that shows the type of player Derek White is, because I remember seeing a stat where he might have only shot like 3 for 3, which is only like 3 shots. And
yesterday, he only took 3 shots.
I believe so, and
most of them, if he did,
and some of them might have contained free throws. So I don't know.
I think he literally just shot 3 3-pointers and made all 3 and just dominated defensively.
Honestly, that's probably what happened, because I saw it speaks to Derek White and what his whole character, what his whole like player attribute is. He's a defensive guard.
Yeah.
So
I mean, really, I think yesterday showed, and this is something I'm starting to notice. I don't know how true this is, just as a general rule of thumb. But I think we're starting to see that Olympic or FIBA basketball, it's way harder for small guards to score, because Steph Curry, respectfully, was put in a blunder.
He shot like 1 for 9 yesterday.
1 for 9, I think. 4 fouls. He had a rough time of it. Like he was not getting the same open shots that he's getting in the NBA. Like they put taller guys on him, and it showed. And I think back to last year in FIBA, not to to bring up Knicks too much, but Jalen Brunson coming off a very good season, and he was about to have an even better season, struggled mightily in FIBA. Like, he had 1 or 2 good games. I'm sure Steph Curry will have 1 or 2 good games eventually, but like Jalen Brunson really struggled. I remember it's like you could see the height difference. It seems like it just matters more. Like, FIBA teams will hunt you defensively if you are a small non-defensive guard. And when you're on offense, they are just going to put the tallest, most athletic guy they got on you, and he's going to stay in front of you and block your shot once or twice.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'm starting to notice that, and maybe a guy like
international basketball has always been.
I will say,
international basketball has always been a little more physical than NBA basketball.
Yeah, and I like it. They let a lot more go. They ref the game a lot more lightly, which I like.
And unfortunately, players like Jalen Brunson will have those nights. I remember Jalen Brunson actually being consistent, maybe not scoring a lot, passing the ball a lot, but always like a consistent, like.
He had 1 or 2 like really good games, but other than that, he was pretty disappointing. For he was supposed to be one of the best players.
No, he was not. I won't let you Knicks tax that one off.
Yeah. I know he had 1 or 2 good games, but overall he was disappointing, I think, which is why he probably didn't make the cut this year, to be honest. I think if he had a good FIBA last year, he'd be here right now. Well,
but yeah, I feel like speaking of like the smaller guard thing, I feel like it's probably more focused on the defensive end. Like, you see, I think it's about rhythm too. Like, yeah, it's really physical. It's a physical game. But then you have guys like Jose Alvarado who kind of just goes to a different tier when he plays FIBA and kind of leads that Puerto Rico team. I know throughout the first expedition games, he's been playing amazing, but I haven't really tuned into any.
I know the U.S. is going to see him in a couple days. The U.S. plays Puerto Rico on Saturday, so
yep,
we're going to see him. We do.
Yeah, so I'm ready to see one of those stand out of bounds steals on someone. He's going to get somebody. I already know it. But yeah, I agree. I think it's just more of a physical game. It's harder for smaller guys to kind of find their rhythm. And then the opposite of that is when you have taller guys who can shoot, Kevin Durant, it's a lot easier for those guys to get in the rhythm. And it was funny watching South Sudan's, their game plan for KD was, foul him. KD literally had like double figures just off of free throws, which was hilarious. But just to transition on to Kevin Durant, I had a hot take last week. Not really so hot. I said Kevin Durant was going to take and make his first shot, nothing but net, and that's exactly what he did. I did not predict him to like go absolutely nuclear, have 21 points in the first half, not missing like Max said. But that just shows you, man, Kevin Durant is our secret weapon. When anything goes bad, I almost like Kevin Durant just coming off the bench every single game because you can't counter that. Like, you have a really solid starting group. Of Steph Curry, LeBron James, those are the cores, and you got interchangeable like Drew Holiday, and then Joel Embiid. Like, once you got to play those guys, you have to play an aggressive Bron to start off the game, and then you switch out a small forward and Kevin Durant, who just plays a whole different style, along with Anthony Edwards off the bench, is just a cheat code. So KD, like, just the way he plays, like, if y'all watch the way he plays, the shots he takes. It's like, hey, I just 100% mastered my game. I'm going to take whatever I want because I can. Like, those are the shots he takes. Like, that one rhythm shot, I know you guys seen it, like 3 dribbles up court, pull up, classic, like, Durant 3. Yeah, in game one.
Yeah. It's like that shot he hit on Bron in the 2017 or 18 finals, I want to say, in a closeout game. That iconic shot where he just walks up, drills it on Bron, and just ends the game, basically.
It's crazy because I'm pretty sure we all knew, like, if KD's bringing the ball up the court, he's 9 times out of 10, he's taking a pull-up 3. Like, if he's like, hey, give me the ball.
And 8 times out of 10, he's making it.
Exactly. But his game is so smooth, man. Like, I love what he brings, like, to this USA team, man. And not to sound cocky, I know we talked about this before, but I just can't, unless something just, everybody has a mental break, I just can't see us losing. Or not getting gold, I should say. Like, everything just has to go wrong. Like, individuals on this team can have a great game and carry us to a win. But when we're all playing good collectively, it's a scary side. Like, look at Drew Holiday. He's been a great catch-and-shoot shooter for this team. Derek White, like you said, 3 for 3. Bam, distance, like you said, Bam carried us. Bam,
Bam was my player of the game for South
18 points.
Phenomenal.
2 threes.
I think he was the leading scorer.
Like,
I think he, yeah.
If he wasn't, he was close. I mean, the way he was just dominating the second quarter, like you could see, like I mean, Davis had a very
easily,
good first quarter for sure, and he was controlling like the paint at least defensively. When they put Bam in there in the second quarter, I mean, he just literally it looked like a high school basketball star, like posting up a fifth grader, like straight up. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but Bam just had interior position in paint every time. I mean, I think he got like 3 dunks in a row. And then they kicked, and then he got like a kick out 3 that I think wound up in like Derek White's hands or Durant's hands for like another 3-pointer. So he just absolutely dominated. He was blocking shots. You could tell when he was in the game, South Sudan did not want, they couldn't drive. They couldn't get into the paint. Like he just straight up dominated the game. He looked like the way Anthony Davis will sometimes control these games. Bam was able to do it. I was really impressed. Like this is, I think, the best that Bam has played. That was definitely his best game as an Olympian, as a USA basketball player. I was upset that he wasn't in there down the stretch. I know he kind of had a little lead, but like, and Davis was also having a good game. But you know, Davis, he kind of, I don't want to say got hurt, but like he turned his ankle and like I think
for sure.
Second quarter, he wasn't really the same after that. He was still playing fine. He wasn't playing poorly by any means, but he wasn't that dominant like monstrous Anthony Davis. So I thought Bam should have closed the game with center. And ultimately, it didn't matter. But shout out, and he played phenomenal. And like I said, Derek White just defensively, I'm always so impressed. Derek White is legitimately one of the best shot blockers I've seen. Period. Regardless of position, that dude. Maybe it's just because he's not a center, so people think they can drive on him. But his timing for block shots is so good, and he rarely fouls too. He almost always blocks shots clean. I'm just blown away by how good he is at that. And that's all to watch.
As far as shot blocking as guards, it gives me a little bit of shout out to our one of our commentators, like Dwayne Wade vibes.
Oh God, don't get me started on Wade. Don't get me started on Wade. I don't know how y'all. I hate Dwayne Wade in the commentary box. I think he's awful.
Really?
Yeah, he just tries to be really relatable. But in this case, we're comparing his defense. Like I feel like Wade as a guard defender, obviously he leads the league in. Well, I think he's number 1 in blocks as a guard, if I'm not mistaken.
He was up there. He was really good at shot blocking as a guard. I never really watched Prime D Wade, so I can't say for certain.
Yeah.
But yeah, Derek White, phenomenal. But I don't know how y'all feel about Wade in the commentary, but I hate him.
Yeah, I think it's. I just don't really care that much. I mean, he's gonna make his cheesy comments, whatever. I'm there for the game. Like Wade, yes.
Weird. Mute. Watch the game.
Like I'm just.
Yeah, I hate watching games on mute though. I hate it. More so than listening to corny comment. I would rather listen. As much as I hate corny commentators, I'd rather, because like it's so like you don't hear the whistles when they go off. You don't hear the crowd. You know, it's just weird to just watch basketball completely silently. So I'm like, can you just hire announcers that are like I can at least listen to? And like D Wade is just hello my fellow children the whole broadcast. It's so annoying.
Hello my fellow children is insane.
Or whatever it is. Hello. How do you do, fellow kids? You know, the guy.
Oh God.
That's what Wade gives. He's like, remember when he was talking about Kevin Durant's handshakes? He was like, Kevin Durant gave me a handshake. My hand was red for 20 minutes. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, y'all know there's a game going on, right? Like, why?
I mean, to be fair, I feel like the Olympics, like if you watch like a lot of these different events, they try their best to be inclusive to the individual sports and get people who like been around these guys. Like for the gymnastics team, they had I forget what her name is, sorry, but she was on the team like years back and she commentates on like what's going on, the good, the bad, whatever. And I feel like for Olympics,
does she actually talk about the competition or does she talk about like what the players' mothers named them?
No, like both. Like it's a mix of both. I think they try to make the broadcast. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think they try to make the broadcast as like watchable. Like some people who are just tuning in, they want to know who these players are. They want to know the funny nicknames and stories. And I think that's like
who calls him that though? Who calls him Beyonce?
They said it.
Or whatever that joke is. I don't know.
It was on Instagram. Like when they did the nicknames and like LeBron and KD, they were talking about it.
Do you not know that that's fake, Max? I don't know. His real name isn't Beyonce.
So why is Wade waffling about it on national TV?
Because it was on Instagram. They were going off player nicknames on the Team USA, just like Earl was saying.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off, by the way.
No. We're good.
My bad. But they were just talking about it, and they were saying, what's the hardest nickname on the squad? And then they went back and forth. and then some. I think it was must have been Drew Holiday, right? That's at Bamonte. And
I think it was Drew or D Book, something like that.
Yeah, it was one of them. And then they even said, "Oh, only his mom calls him Bamonte." But then when they asked Bam later on in that video, Bam was like, "Bro, that's not my name, bro. It's Bam."
So we've got Dwayne Wade running with some like cringe niche false Instagram joke repeatedly on the broadcast every time he does anything.
I don't think it's bad, bro. I think D Wade is just commentating. He's just having fun with it. I think it's okay.
Nitpicking, I mean, listen, it's whatever. Like ultimately, it's whatever. I know. I'm just old man yells at cloud.
No, I know. Yeah, it's
come on. If it's just Olympics, fine. Please don't let D Wade get some like the Amazon contract or the NBC contract. Please, if you want to put him as like the analyst, like an analyst in like the studio.
I mean, to be fair, we had weeks of Doc Rivers on the mic.
True. I mean, listen, there are other bad.
I'll take D Wade over Doc Rivers any night. I don't care.
I have a theory that
hands
they
down
pushed him into that Milwaukee role just because they wanted him out of ESPN.
Hey, man.
Please take the head coaching job.
Not everybody can have a wonderful podcast voice like my head coach JJ Redick.
Yeah.
No, just
I thought you were going to say like our
a little corny at times,
whatever.
Yeah, I just feel like he was probably available. They chose him. He's chilling. I think he's having fun with it, man. He's enjoying his Olympics, having fun in Paris, doing his game commentary. I think it's fine. Does it get a lot sometimes? Of course, but it's not like
a lot in the NBA sometimes.
It's not bad enough where it's like, okay, I'm just completely taken away from this game. You know,
it's not Doris Burke, Kevin Harlan. It's not Doris Burke.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. The biasness on those broadcasts are insane.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Oh, I can't believe they hurt Giannis. Oh my god!
Well, we're talking about bias. D Wade is also like so biased. Whenever a shot goes up, he's like, "Oh yeah, Bron feeling it. That's my."
No, but okay, but along with that, he'll call bricks. He'll be like, "Oh, that's all."
Oh yeah, but he called the South Sudan.
And then I'm like, bro, is he like 10 minutes ahead of me? He's like, "Oh no, that's a brick. Yeah, that's off to the left. That's off to the right." I'm like, "Bro, what?"
I remember he called some South Sudan player put up a shot. He was like, "That's short."
Air ball.
If anybody were to say, imagine. Okay. I just thought of something in my head. Imagine D Wade goes like air ball after South Sudan shoots. It's a swish.
His feel for the game is just there, honestly.
Player on any team but Team USA, except for like the NBA guys. He didn't know a single player on that South Sudan team yesterday.
No, I think he does. I'm not gonna disrespect his basketball knowledge that much. I mean, he's still
knowledge. He's just.
It is like some of those guys have been either in the college circuit, NBA, G League affiliate, just different things like that.
Gabriel and JT Thor, but like.
Nah, I'm sure he knows the names. I'm sure he knows some of those guys.
If anybody were to know that, though, it would be Dwayne Wade.
No, I'm saying
I don't think he said the name. I'd love though if someone could like go back and do a supercut of the broadcast. Every time Dwayne Wade says the name of a South Sudan player, I would love to hear that. How many times he says their names, not just South Sudan playing really well, or like they're in their rhythm now. Like no, talk about the players. Who's that guy? Because I know a couple of those guys showed out. Like I'm looking bad now because I forget the name.
All right, D Wade.
It was like Shayad. The guy's name starts with S. I'm looking really bad right now, but it's like Shayok. That was his name. Shayok played really well, and then the other guy, it's like last name. It's like Omat, something like that. I think he also.
Excuse me.
I know. Okay. I know. I look bad right now.
What'd you call me?
It's like a 4-letter name. I'm not gonna get it. Well, and like I was just genuinely impressed by how well South Sudan not only shot the 3-ball but rebounded. Like I think they out-rebounded us in the first half, despite being down by like a good margin. So that was really impressive. They don't have.
They got your boy Wenyan Gravy Earl over there,
guys. But they just have.
Whoa! It's Wenyan Gabriel. Did you call him Gravy?
No, I said Wenyan. I messed up the first part of his name, but
I'm sorry. I had to defend my ex-Laker, one of my favorite Lakers role players.
I thought he would have a better game. I mean, he did fine.
So
I thought he'd have a better game.
So you're talking about Nuni Omar.
Thank you. Omar and Shylock. Those two played really well. I was really impressed by those two. I'd be honestly I would be shocked if they don't get at least a look by NBA rosters. I think one of these guys, because of how well South Sudan is playing, I think one of these guys will get G League look, two-way contract in the next NBA look. Like those guys legit played well. Like they showed they can hang against some of the USA's best defenders. I mean, some of these guys, not just specifically those two, but all of South Sudan, they were hitting some really tough threes, coming off plays. Contested threes. In the second quarter, they weren't really falling, and you could tell they were kind of settling. But in the third quarter, when they got in their rhythm and were getting the three-pointers they wanted, they were making them 8 times out of 10. They shot really well from three, and they hit the boards. Like I said, despite not having any super tall, 7-foot, physically imposing threats, they just rebound by committee, and all their guys are so just athletic and just hungry. They just beat us to a lot of rebounds, just straight up, just off hustle and good placement, good tactic, good box out. So I was really impressed. I think we showed that exhibition game where they almost beat us was not a fluke. Obviously, they didn't come, they didn't beat us. It wasn't as close this time around, but they showed they're legit. They can hang. And they're currently 1-1. They beat Puerto Rico in their first game. So South Sudan really has got to be so far it's an upset story.
It's just hard.
Top 20 actually.
It's just hard I feel when they're playing USA kind of takes away from what Max said, how great they are as a team. USA is just a complete super team in the Olympics. Yeah. So when you put that in perspective versus Puerto Rico, they're a good Olympics team as well, but they were able to take them down the game before. So shout out to South Sudan for making a name for themselves. But last thing I'll kind of say about these two games is for those who are watching, wondering why they were kind of skill scoring at the end and Ant was taking those threes, it's because in your bracket, it always comes down to point differential. So if you have a chance to kind of make your score a little bit higher, that's why South Sudan was still shooting too. Because even if they lose, if their point differential is higher than a team tied with them, they still can advance to the next round. So if people were wondering, that's why they played to the buzzer.
That's actually why they fell out of the top 20 too. They dropped all the way to 33 or something when they were in the top 20.
They missed 3 layups at the end of that game in the last minute 30. I know Royal Ivy's got to be furious at them. They could have cut that point differential by 5 or 6 points.
Ant is a pure menace. Anthony Edwards is a menace.
Remember? Yeah, when he
I love it
in the backcourt.
Got the dunk, got the steal again. Shot a pull up 3 with 2 or 3 or 5 seconds left, and we take it.
So they won against Puerto Rico 90-78, and then they lost to the United States 103-86.
Right, so they're -5.
Yeah, so and then their top scorer is Carlick Jones with 18.
Carlick Jones? He had a triple-double in that first game against Puerto Rico. He didn't look quite as good against the U.S. I think you could tell. I just want to say, that dude drives to the basket every single time. He is a criminally, you want to talk about an RJ Barrett type slasher. That dude wanted to slash every single time. And you could tell when the U.S. had Derek White on him, he tried driving on Derek White, and Derek White just bottled him, or if he tried to put a shot, Derek White blocked him. But then in the fourth quarter, when we had Steph Curry in, he just attacked Steph Curry every time. He got 2 or 3 buckets on Steph's head. And Steph was just bro, what do I even do? I've never seen Steph Curry just that depressed. He knew he was having a stinker of a game.
South Sudan against Puerto Rico. Carlick had 19 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 36.
My bad. He was on triple double watch then.
37. There is a couple people actually. Wendy and Gabriel, believe it or not. Peter Jock, Nuni Omar.
What'd you mean by that?
What do you mean?
What do you mean by believe it or not?
Real well. I was impressed by Omar. He can dominate inside. He's not the tallest guy in the world, but he's a physical presence. So I think he also shot.
It's also important to know that he shot 46% from the field. Mario Shylock, like you were saying yesterday, he shot 50% against Puerto Rico.
Shylock is good. He's a shooter, bro. That guy, you give him anything.
Okay. All right, I gotta say this. I don't think anybody. Okay, this guy named Bull Kawal. BUL
Kaliwa?
KU. Huh? I don't know what that
You talking about he's like 7 foot?
I believe
He's a
so.
center? Yeah,
I
he
think
plays
so.
for Duke.
South Sudan? But he was playing for South Sudan this year? Okay.
No, I mean like he's a rookie. What's that rookie? He's a freshman this year for Duke.
Yeah. Dude,
Number one player in NBA Africa League. So he's gonna be really good in the future.
Dude, he shot 62%.
Mm-hmm.
He shot 62.5%. Peter Jock shot 66.7%.
Well, that just means he was 2 for 3, probably. But
yeah, he was. No. He was 3 for 4. He had 11 points.
Well, that would be 75%. Anyway.
Wait.
Welcome to BTB Does Math.
This is not clear. That's why.
This is all just to say, South Sudan, they may have lost. They may have a negative point differential. They're 1-1. They're like the underdog story of the Olympics for me so far, at least the basketball side. I think so impressive what they were able to do. Like they gave the U.S. not only like one of the biggest scares in like Olympic history in that exhibition game, they gave us a really good game, and so I respect that guy for that. Moving on to Serbia, obviously that was the first game a little farther back, but it was the Embiid Jokic duel, and Embiid quite literally, I hate to say this, very much embarrassed himself out there.
2 for 4.
You don't have to hate to say it, Max. We all agree with you.
2 rebounds. He got absolutely destroyed. Be honest.
I mean, it was so obvious. Like when he was out there at the first 5 minutes, it was a back and forth game. I think Serbia got they were leading at one point. They take him out for Anthony Davis. Embiid's like the first sub. Instantly, the U.S. go on a run, and like a similar thing happened, I think, in the third quarter.
Bro, every single U.S.
was out there.
Every single U.S. player except for Joel Embiid and Joel Embiid and Bam Adebayo shot over 50%.
I think Joel was the only player to have a negative plus minus. He was negative 15 in a blowout win. Everyone else was like super positive.
Negative 8.
I mean, Jason Tatum didn't play. He had about a plus minus. How is that possible?
He's not even on here.
He was such a liability in that game, which is why I think we didn't see him in game 2 at all.
His game is just built for like NBA basketball. Like some guys, that's what they say when team. Yeah, I'm just saying like some guys, like we say, not everybody can play Olympic basketball. Like it takes a different type of sacrifice. Like some people can't adjust their games. That's why you see great games from Bam. Bam's not traditionally a 3-point shooter, but he knows stretching the floor in a game like this can help his team win. He shoots threes, gets rebounds, play defense. Anthony Davis does the same thing as a big as well. You got guys like Derek White, Drew Holiday, plug-and-play guys that play defense, hit shots, don't necessarily need the ball in their hands all the time to be productive. They work well in the system. And then you have your one-off stars, obviously. And LeBrons and KDs of the world.
Get my award for best adjusted and like A+ job leaving ego at the door. Devin Booker. Devin Booker has just absolutely played the perfect role. Like
yes.
I don't think I've seen him dribble more than once in this entire tournament so far. He's just purely spot up shooter. When they collapse, I'm going to hit the open 3, and he's hitting them at an elite rate because he's getting great shot. He's locked in on defense. He's trying. He's swinging the ball. He's not forcing looks. He's just been the perfect, third or fourth option on the court whenever he's out there. But the thing is, when you have Devin Booker as your third or fourth option, that's elite because he's getting the best shots he's ever going to get in his career, and he's just making all of them because they're warm-up shots for him. And I think he had a phenomenal game yet. Well, maybe not phenomenal, but he had a very good game yesterday against South Sudan of just, picking his spots, being engaged defensively, not forcing things. He had a nice and one in transition, but other than that, it was all just catch and shoots, coming off a pick, baseline shot. I think he's not making mistakes. He's fitting in perfectly with this team. So for me, he gets my attaboy of that's what Olympic is, playing your role and excelling it.
Let me go through the USA percentages, the field goal percentages. So Kevin Durant shot 88.9%. He only missed one shot versus Serbia. He shot 3 for 4 from 2, 5 for 5 from 3. LeBron was 8 for 10. And he missed 2 3-pointers, but made 1. He shot 69%. 75%.
Oh, that's on 2s. I was like, the math wasn't math, but I know what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. He missed Yeah, it made sense. It made sense eventually. Drew Holiday, he shot 75% from the field, 3 for 3 from 2, and 3 for 5 from 3.
Yeah, bro. We don't need to hear everyone shooting.
Yeah, we don't gotta do it, but okay, let me just go through the percentages. Devin Booker 66.7, Anthony Edwards the exact same, Steph Curry 50, Anthony Davis 50, Bam Adebayo 33, Joel Embiid 44, and then Derek White 50. Like all of these players shot above 50%. Given Derek White only had 2 points in him, but whatever.
Yeah. Game 1 was more quiet. Game 1, you could definitely tell was more. That was more of the Bron and KD game. Like it was less so. I'm not gonna say the others played poorly. I mean, Embiid certainly played poorly.
Drew Holiday played amazing,
but I mean, Bron and KD just absolutely taking over that game. I mean, you could just tell when Durant came in there in the first quarter and the game was like still kind of close. When Durant came in, he just completely turned things around. And one thing I was really impressed by Team USA in that game was our ability to defend Jokic in the post. I think we forced like 3 or 4 Jokic turnovers when he was just trying to back guys down. Bron got a couple of them where he's just poking the ball away. Maybe AD got 1 or 2. But overall, like Jokic, I mean, obviously he got his points. He had his game. Jokic is still going to get his. But like if you can force him into a few mistakes, like just knocking the ball loose, being active defensively, getting your hands on the ball, swiping at him. We were able to get that. And a couple times it led to easy transition baskets. So doing that, you can kind of offset all the brilliance that he does in the himself. So
I think they have.
I was really impressed by that. I don't see that in the NBA. I'll be honest. Guys aren't able to just knock the ball away from Jokic.
I think you have a rare opportunity with Serbia because there might be a situation where you can take your man off of Micic, who was shooting 30% that game, and put him on Jokic and run that 2-man. So their next best player on Serbia, and I'm not saying this to go at anybody because this guy's in the NBA, but Bogdan Bogdanovic.
Yeah, he also was not. He had a quiet game in that first game.
It's a huge drop off.
Yeah, it's not like when he's with the Nuggets and he's got Jamal and KCP and Aaron Gordon. Like it's different. You could throw a little more attention at Jokic on Serbia.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's why they were kind of able to do that. I feel like, especially with leaving off Micic, this man shot 1 for 3 from 2, and then 2 for 7 from 3.
Yeah, I think that him and Bogdanovic needed because they're like probably second and third, certainly best like offensive players. So I think those two needed to have good games, and they're
the really 2 other NBA guys. Micic is in Charlotte.
Yeah, you expect a little more from him. You certainly expect more from Bogdanovic. If they're going to do well, I'm sure that they'll figure it out. It's still game 1 of the actual tournament, but I think those two not having elite shooting games and hitting 4 or 5 threes definitely hurt Serbia's chances. But I mean, for stretches, they were right with us. It would be kind of stretches where it's like Durant's on the bench or Bron's on the bench, and they're kind of hanging with us. They're going back and forth. Then Durant comes in, does his thing. Then Bron comes in, does his thing. I think Bron over. I mean, we can't stand up about what Bron has done for this USA team. He kind of a quieter game too, but overall, just
21, 7 and 9. He was on triple double watch.
The energy really has saved us in key times. If you go back to those exhibition games, especially that one against Germany, really stepping up when we need him. He is the undisputed captain of this team. Captain of America, whatever.
Captain
and he's playing like it. He's got this whole team locked in. He's got them playing well. And on his end, the only thing I can say about his game is that he is turning the ball over a little much. He is the NBA all-time turnover leader. I get there's going to be some turnovers.
Ooh, LeBron, are we serious? Is that actually a stat?
Yeah. Oh, he's the NBA all-time turnover leader, but
damn, he had 6. He had 6 turnovers this game.
Yeah, yesterday was especially pretty sloppy from Bron. There's sometimes where he's trying to do a little much, and he's directing traffic, and he's being a little free with the ball, just kind of throwing whatever.
That's
the only knock I have. Other than that,
kind of
all ends
a normal walk in the park.
Getting
but
Bron.
I think, this the Serbia team just needs to be better. And unfortunately, you're not winning a game if you're shooting 9 for 37 from 3. So,
especially not against the U.S.
Yeah. All right. I think we can move on from here. What do you guys got in mind? Do we got anything else?
I mean, we just looking around like the rest of the Olympics. As we near on, I think the games are going to start picking up. There's going to be a little bit more. The breaks aren't going to be as long. We're going to get into like the knockout stage pretty soon here in the Olympics. It's crazy that some sports have already awarded their gold medals and basketball's like not even close. We're not even in like knockout stage yet. But You know, who do y'all think posed, now that we've seen a couple games, who do y'all think posed the most threat to the U.S. in terms of going for gold? I mean, Earl, I know you said I don't see them not winning gold. Who could stand in the way of that?
I will say I am terrified of the thought of playing France in a gold medal game with the referees on their side. Just saying. Yeah. I know you guys seen the Japan game or seen clips on it. Shout out to my guy Rui Hachimura. He did not deserve to get put out on that soft call, and because of that, it led that team to lose. I think at the time Rui had like 24 points, so he was kind of in his rhythm. Like that was their pretty much focal point on offense.
He was in his bag.
When you take away that type of scoring option, it's hard to kind of adjust at the end of a game. Then they had that controversial 3-point shot foul call, whatever, and that led to them hitting the free throws, and overtime happened. And of course, France was able to win. So I will say, not only because of that, I mean, France, they do have a good team. Obviously, it's all jokes. So I think that's the biggest team I feel like poses a threat. Y'all can clip this. I'm not scared or worried about Canada. I mean, it's literally like, it reminds me of like Clippers, Lakers, Clippers. I mean, little bros for life. I'm sorry, Canada. It's like, get every best player in the NBA, and then you throw in Canada. It's like Team B aside from Shea. No offense. Just saying.
I mean,
that Team B beat us last year, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm scared.
Yeah, but you know why they beat us? Because they had their boys. We didn't send nobody out there. We just sent a little greeting party. You know how the U.S. we go explore. We sent the little ships. You know, you have your main cabin, you have your huge ship. You go send a couple people out there to be the scout team. That's what we did, and you know what? They scouted back, came back, and we sent the boys. That's what happened. And now we're taking over.
There's a joke in there, but I'm not gonna say it.
Do it.
So about Canada, I'm not gonna say I'm scared of Canada. I would say they probably have the best shot just because they are the team full of NBA players. You know, obviously France has the Wemby and Gobert combo, and I'm very thankful that they do not have Joel Embiid on that team as well. That would be legitimately scary, even with how poorly Embiid.
I mean, with the way he's playing right now.
Fair, but I do think, you know, you put him next to Wemby and Gobert or bring one of them off the bench like that, I would not want to play that. I'll put it that
way. Wemby a small forward? Holy.
Wemby a power forward, probably. It would probably Gobert would have to.
Gobert would probably come off the bench there, but like
the first ever 3 big dominant lineup. Rudy Gobert, Joel Embiid at power forward, Wemby at small forward. Make it happen.
Really, Wemby, if you ask 2K, Wemby's a point guard. So.
Wemby at point guard.
Yes, I think France is up there, but I do have to say Canada just because they have guys who can go off. Shea can give you 30, Jamal can give you 25. As much, you know, depending on what stage the moon is, RJ Barrett can have a really good game or a really bad game. But if you get a really good game from RJ, he's probably giving you 25.
Depending on how the moon is.
The one thing with Canada is they don't have the height, and that's what I think the difference in that game, if we do wind up playing Canada, is going to be the bigs. If AD and Bam and Embiid, if he's there and playing and healthy, if they're able to dominate inside and really, you know, because when you it's very noticeable when Anthony Davis especially, but also when Bam are just physically imposing themselves in the paint. When teams just stop driving the ball, when they're having to take these rush contested threes, when the U.S. can just dump it down to AD and Bam in the low block and they're getting dunks and people are cutting off it. It's so obvious. If AD and Bam can dominate the game and the U.S. can play to that strength, I think they beat Canada 9 times out of 10. But if Kelly Olynyk and Trey Lyles are able to play even close to AD and Bam, if they're able to just level that playing field on occasion, I think there's definitely a chance for a close game because certainly Canada has the offensive firepower to hang with the U.S. So if they're not controlling the pace inside, that's where I think the U.S. could lose a game against Canada.
RJ tends to play better during like FIBA and stuff. So he's up and down, just like he is in the NBA. You know, sometimes he'll have a stinker, sometimes he'll have a brilliant game. You know, last year he was like the definition of inconsistent. Like he had like 25, and then he had like 4. Yeah,
his best isn't even on bench Halliburton's level.
Dang.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Halliburton did play well yesterday, but like Canada just has.
He came in like he was mad.
I think we've seen with the U.S. so far, like. You know, in these games, it doesn't look – we haven't had a game where, like, everyone is clicking, you know? Like, I think Bron was a little quieter yesterday. Tatum was quiet yesterday. Curry was very quiet. But you had the Derek Whites and the Bams and the Durants to step up. But, like, in game 1, you know, no, it was LeBron and KD show. And other than that, no one really stood out offensively. So it's like, you're not going to get 10 to 15 points from all those USA guys. You're getting, a couple good games. There's 2 to 3 top guys that are leading the way. And I think if you look at Canada, they have 2 or 3 guys. You also have Wiggins in there, who can give you a good game. You also have
he can't play, remember?
That can match the U.S. top guys. It's not like you're getting 20 from Tatum, 20 from Curry, 20 from Halliburton, 20 from Bron, 20 from KD. Like, we're not putting up 140 points like we used to.
I mean, hot take. If we play Canada, I think we beat them by 30 points.
Okay.
There's my hot take. Stamp approval right now. If we play Canada, we're going to beat them by 30 points. It's going to be so disrespectful. Nobody is ever going to.
We're not beating South Sudan.
But you guys don't understand.
Right, listen, just because LeBron has.
Hold on, time out. Let me finish. You guys don't understand. Canada is the reason we didn't get that medal. It's equivalent to your little, if you have a younger sibling or older sibling, whatever, or a friend, and they go out, they're just minding their business, they get beat up. You're at school, somebody jumps them. All right, you weren't at school that day, but guess what? When you come back the next day, it's on site, respectfully. So, Team USA.
Huh?
I love how he froze right there.
Team USA will redeem last year's mistakes, and we're gonna win by 30.
Oh, I don't think U.S. is not hungry to beat Canada. I think, like you said, I think they're going to be locked in. But I think Canada.
Y'all not remember what we did?
They're still good enough to not lose by 30.
Hold on, let me go look at this real quick.
You also got to remember, U.S. lost to Germany. That's the real reason why all this started. I think once they got to that, who cares about a FIBA bronze medal?
True.
About that bronze medal game, they cared that they lost to Germany to keep them from gold. I think that's what they really.
Oh no, for sure. But they're on the list too.
I found myself fond of
it's a whole list.
One on the list.
No, yeah, they are. But I'm just saying, Canada.
So how much we beat Germany by then? 50?
No, I think Germany is a better constructed team. Those guys have been playing together. No, it's true, bro. If we look at historically right now, Germany has been playing better Olympic basketball. It's just a fact.
That is true.
I think it's just like I said, it's about fit. Like those guys have been playing together for so long. And once again, this kind of reminds me of like the Jose Alvarado thing. Like some guys who are somewhat role players in other teams, like in the NBA, they play really well on these Olympic teams. Like Dennis Schroeder, he's an example of that.
Tice, bro. Daniel
Tice as well. He plays amazing basketball. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's just levels to this. Like I know I'm joking about Canada a lot. I know I'm just half of that's jokes, not the 30-point thing, but I just feel like Germany's team, they just play well together. I think Canada is still trying to figure out how to all like mesh all of those NBA personalities together, respectfully.
Yeah, although I do think that they're I do think that they can figure it out. Certainly by the time we get to the knockout stage. I think, like I said, I'm not scared of them. I'm just saying there's the potential for it to go wrong,
Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, I think is Australia good this year? I mean, they got Giddey, I know. Have they been playing well?
That is a good question. I heard Giddey was talking about US. He said something. I forget what he said, but he was talking about us. So I don't know. Let's check the record.
I saw him beef with Dylan Brooks or whatever, and it's just Dylan Brooks doing.
They're in 4th place right now. They are 7 and. They are. Wait, what? Hold on.
7.
I don't understand.
7 games.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I fucked up.
It's like Australia's up there. Obviously, we talked about France, Canada, Germany. I think is
Is Spain good this year?
Yeah, that's what
I haven't been keeping up.
Spain's always good, but I think now that the Gasol's retired, I don't know if Jose Calderon is there anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like
they've won no medals for basketball. Sorry. They've won absolutely 0 medals.
No, there's been no medals yet. We're talking about this year. No medals have been given out.
This year? Like, have they been winning in their games so far? Like, could Australia? Because, like, I mean, they got Josh Giddey and Jock Landale, who plays amazing. I mean, we played them in one of those exhibition games. Jock Landale.
Yeah, they beat Canada by 5. Yeah, they beat Canada by 5.
In the real games, like the first 2 games?
No, I'm so serious. Must be the women's tournament. Oh wait, no, this is the women's tournament. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
You got my hopes up, man. Stop
Dude,
playing with me, Omar.
Australia men's basketball. I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Oh man, I was about to go on a whole 20-second rant.
Australia men's basketball. Okay, wait. So they did play Canada too. Okay, hold on.
They have Patty Mills, right? Is Patty Mills still on that team? Surely he is.
Oh yeah,
Olympic Patty Mills is different.
he was balling those expedition games. Turn on my TV seeing vintage Patty.
Okay, seems like there's been no real games for the men's Australian team. I'm
They
trying to
just
look
played.
for it.
All right, bro.
Everybody,
It might have
we
been an
got you.
exhibition, bro. Because I'm looking at it right now. Basketball Australia. It says Paris 2024 women's. It's 70-65 Canada, and then it says Friday, August 2nd, Australia versus Greece. Men's basketball. Am I not seeing something? I don't think I'm missing something.
Let's see. Australia versus oh yeah, that's in the women's. Jeez, you think Google would do a better job with this?
No, I think you just found it, bro, because I don't think they've played yet. And yeah, they do.
They haven't played yet. It's been a week of
Mills, they got Joe Ingles, Josh Green, Josh Giddey, Dante Exum, Matthew Dellavedova. And no, dude, I don't think they've played at all, actually. I think the game you saw was...
They played Canada, and that was a legit game.
That was the women's. We just discussed
that. No, they also played on Tuesday. They played Canada, and they lost 93-83. That was the game, and I think they're playing
he's right.
Probably today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I see it. 93-83.
I literally cannot see that.
Group A. Yeah, it's right here. I see it. So Lou Dort had 11 points. Shea had 16.
They got Lou Dort. I forgot about that.
RJ had 24.
Yeah,
RJ had 24. Dylan Brooks had 16.
I thought that was an exhibition.
Australia, Josh Giddey with 19 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. So yeah, a little triple-double watch. Dante Exum 15.
So not a trip dub, but trip dub watch.
Yeah. Yeah, they played a game.
Probably not.
They didn't win, but they played a game.
They lost by Canada today by 10. Probably not good enough to beat you.
And Jamal Murray was off that night too.
Yeah, I seen that. That's how I remember they played them, because I seen the Jamal Murray not ready for Olympic basketball tweets a couple of times.
Did he have a bad game?
He shot like 2 for 5 or something. Yeah, Matthew Dellavedova and Joe Ingles didn't play.
Oh, that's their secret weapons. Okay, never mind. Australia will be fine. Once they plug those guys in, they'll be chilling.
Tell me how Duop Reith played, but they didn't play.
I'm just saying, maybe they're probably just getting load management. You know, they're saving the secret weapon.
For what? It's FIBA.
We load management. We load manage.
You know, Delly's probably 40. Ingles is almost 40.
Okay, all right. Let's reassign that term there, because I don't think it's necessarily that. I think it's just what was necessary to like bring out the best in the squad, right?
Yeah,
you have to make the sacrifice. Somebody's gonna catch a DMP. Somebody has.
Yeah, but who else do they have though? Like, other than those guys,
that roster, Steve Kerr. We just said it earlier. Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra. They know they have the flexibility to do whatever they want, and they could still probably win the game. So that's probably why Joel Embiid didn't play last game, because he's not going to play great defense against them. It's probably his freaking punishment for not playing well. Yeah, and then you saw what happened. So I'm not even going to be surprised if Joel Embiid starts and then plays like 10-15 minutes and then sits back down and then doesn't go back in. It's
going to be touch and go with Embiid. I mean, if he's a liability after, if he's getting rim run on by Puerto Rico,
to bring this out. I wanted to talk about this before because Earl said something earlier about, AD's got his defense and Bam's got his. He doesn't really necessarily have a 3-point shot, but he's still taking them.
Yeah.
What's Embiid's foul baiting? Like, I'm sorry. That's what we saw. We literally saw him try to foul bait during FIBA, not get calls, and then complain about it like it's the NBA. Like, I'm sorry, brother.
It doesn't work.
It's not going to work like that. You're going to get benched.
I'm sure. Listen, I would be shocked if Embiid is not still dealing with some sort of knee injury, some sort of lingering injury.
He scored 50 points on us with one leg.
Well, that's just because he's that good. I think that's the version of Embiid that the U.S. were hoping. Is like they know he's not 100%. They know you're not going to be able to get fully fluid, moving normal Embiid. But like we saw, even Embiid on one leg can be such a dominant post threat, pick and pops, block shots at the rim. Like even 50% Embiid can still be dominant, but we're not seeing it. I think the other teams, the fact Embiid already is not quick regardless, but now that I think he's still dealing with that knee injury, his quickness and like just explosiveness is, you can tell, severely limited. I mean, he does have his play now and then, but overall he's limited. I think teams are attacking that. So like you said, Omar, he's got to prove something against Puerto Rico. If he can't come out and be a dominant, just post-up threat, control the game like AD and Bam have shown they can. If he can't do that against Puerto Rico, I'm not going to say it's wraps for him being in the Olympics, but like he might wind up being one of the two DMPs going forward.
Yeah, I won't be surprised. All right, guys. Yeah. We're going to end off this episode soon, but we did want to bring up the fact that a great NBA player retired today. This morning, Gordon Hayward announced that he's retiring after 14 years in the NBA. I always wanted him in New York earlier, admittedly a lot earlier than when the rumors started, because he was a great spot up shooter. And unfortunately, it was like when his career took a turn for the worst in Boston after that, it was like a leg break, right? I don't want to miss
something. I mean, it was the first game of the season.
Versus Cleveland. Oh, that made my stomach hurt. Ugh.
That made my stomach hurt, bro. I think everybody on the court was in pain from that one. You could just see it. The way
it was
they were physically in pain.
But
today, the NBA community is in pain. Gordon Hayward is now retired, and he didn't have a great last year, unfortunately. I felt like he could have.
Yeah, he had the first half of the season, to be honest. Like he was playing pretty well in Charlotte.
He was, but I mean, once he went to Oklahoma City, and then when he realized that he's probably not going to get bought out, he's probably not going to, because I mean, Sam Presti, as much as he's like a really smart GM, he's not doing anybody favors.
Well, he's not under contract. I don't think he's under contract.
Was he under contract? I
think he's just a free agent, but just didn't like the market he's seeing. He probably was just going to get, a vet minimum somewhere, maybe not a championship contending team.
I mean,
he made the decision to call it, which is really unfortunate because I do think he's got some left in the tank if he wanted to use it. Like I said, obviously Charlotte, maybe an exception. Like he was kind of the only guy on Charlotte for a stretch there with LaMelo Ball being out for most of the season. But he was having good games. Like Gordon Hayward, you can look back at his stats, had some really good nights. Like he's clearly still has the talent to be an NBA player. And the fact that it ended the way it did with him just getting shipped to OKC and just bench warming for half a season, it is really unfortunate because I think he could have got out on a higher note than that. Obviously, I respect his decision. He knows what's best for himself, and we're celebrating for an awesome career. But I certainly do think that he has the talent still to be an NBA player on it, contributing on a team as like a 7th, 8th guy off the bench. Like, him on the Lakers, I think would work really well. Him on a team like Miami, I think would work really well. So, ultimately he's made the decision to call it here, and man, what a career. I mean, that guy back in Utah, he was an all-star in Utah, like legitimately one of the top forwards in the league when he was in his prime, giving people 25, 30, 3-pointers, dunks. Like he was truly just a phenomenal all-around offensive player. Obviously, the defense was never really there, but that's not what you get Gordon Hayward for. Gordon Hayward could win you a game by himself offensively. And he did for the Jazz a lot of times, He was there. I don't want to say they're Donovan Mitchell before Donovan Mitchell, but he dragged a mediocre Jazz team to some good results. And then obviously went on to play for Boston, play for Charlotte, had a very, very solid career. So shout out to Mr. Hayward. Hope he enjoys his retirement. He certainly earned it.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like Gordon Hayward, I mean, like you said, his time on the Charlotte Hornets kind of revamped his career. Unfortunately, he didn't really get to, get a whole lot of run with LaMelo Ball due to his early injuries in his career. But I think he played great. I mean, he's a Jazz legend for those guys over there. And overall, good basketball player. So, I hope that he enjoys retirement. I know back in the day, I was watching this thing where he's a gamer, so maybe he kind of goes into that side. I think he was like a League of Legends guy, so maybe he just dives into that. Who knows? Becomes a streamer or something like that, or just
full-time League of Legends player Gordon Hayward.
Hey man, but maybe it was Overwatch. I don't remember. But shout out to Gordon Hayward. Hopefully, he has a really great and fun retirement. And yeah, always sucks to see an OG retire. Just shows how old I'm getting.
Yeah, I just to put the cherry on top here. I don't think people remember when LeBron. Was it LeBron that hit a record, or somebody hit a record? I can't remember. And Gordon Hayward. Oh, it was Kobe. It was Kobe, and he was on his farewell tour, and Gordon Hayward intentionally fouled him so he can get to like 81 points.
You mean 60?
60. Yes, I'm sorry. There was a couple moments there. There was a couple moments. One in the Jazz Arena, one in Madison Square Garden where it was 81. So scrambled. But
fun fact about Gordon Hayward, which I'm just randomly seeing now in Basketball Reference. In his second year in the NBA, he led the NBA in games played with 66. Yeah. That was the league leader in games played that year. Nobody played more than 66 games, apparently.
Hey man.
Oh, maybe that's because. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I'm stupid.
Lockout year.
Lockout season. I think that was okay. So that's probably why. So that was probably all the games I played. I think I'm stupid for that, but
yeah.
Fair enough. He tied the league leader.
I was about to go on a rant.
I was like, there's no way, right?
There's no way. But,
I'll pull a bit of an Omar here. Just read off for his career. He ends up with 835 NBA games played. Wow, that's a lot. 15.2 points per game career average. 4.4 total rebounds, 3.5 assists. Ended up shooting 45.5 from the field, which is honestly pretty good for a wing. That's actually quite good. 37% from three, 82.2 from the line, so always a solid free throw shooter. 51.2 effective field goal percentage, 16.9 PER, and a 63.4 win share. Don't know what that means, but it's all to say that Gordon Hayward was one heck of a player, and the NBA is going to miss him, but hopefully he'll still be around the game in some capacity in retirement, and perhaps maybe he'll become an Overwatch streamer, apparently.
Yeah. I wonder what the NBA is going to look like when LeBron James or Kevin Durant retires, or even a Steph Curry. It's going to be really interesting.
It's going to be Bron's probably only got 2 years left, right? I mean, he could play longer if he wanted to, but probably only going to play 2 more years.
I think KD's got the same amount of time. I think they're going to retire the same year.
I don't know. I think KD will do 3 or 4. It depends how competitive if you are. If he gets traded to the Rockets and they set up a dynasty, he'll stick around.
2 good years left. So.
I got KD with 5. 3 good years left.
So you got KD till 40 because he's 35 now. So you got KD till 40.
All right, guys. I think we can wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on the Beyond the Backboard podcast on this beautiful day. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, subscribe, and all of that beautiful stuff. Subscribe, follow, comment, do whatever. And then hit us up on Spotify if you can't really watch us, face to face. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. And peace.